Hey guys, it's JP, and we are going to continue to look at different phases of the running cycle and what I look for when analyzing runners. This time, we will be looking at the third phase, which is commonly known as the toe-off phase. This phase occurs as the foot, more specifically the toes, leave the ground, hence why this phase is named that way. Now, during the previous phase, which was mid-stance, I said that energy is mostly being stored. However, at this moment, this is where the energy is released to help propel the body forward as you run. This is partly the reason why the body can develop so much force at this moment. For example, the soleus, which is part of the calf muscle complex, has been recorded to develop forces up to 9 times your body weight. Can you imagine trying to do heel raises with weights equivalent to your body weight multiplied by 9? That would be pretty insane. This goes to show how amazing the body is to move in a way to optimize force output to develop incredible forces to allow you to run. This also signifies the importance of looking at this phase of the running cycle. This time, we'll look at things to watch out for as you transition into or through this phase so you can optimize the way you run. Now, during this phase, it is important to look at the toes as the foot leaves the ground. During this moment, you should look out for excessive curling of the outer 4 toes. This is something I look out for with long distance runners. This could occur due to multiple reasons. One could be compensatory strategies for limited strength produced from the calf muscles. Another could be some difficulty with balance on a single leg, as people who do so tend to grip the ground to stay steady. Now, why does this matter? This is because doing so can lead to excessive strain on the foot, which is not preferable, especially when running for longer distances. Instead, I try to cue to drive through the big toe. Pushing off the ball of the foot may help utilize the foot's natural structures effectively, like the windlass mechanism. This mechanism occurs when the big toe goes into a bent position like so. As the toe goes into this position, the plantar fascia which is attached to it tightens up and results in locking up the structures of the foot. By making the foot a solid unit, this minimizes any energy leakage that occurred during the push-off and optimized force produced as you push through the ground. Now, another thing you could look out for is the early heel rise. As you transition from mid-stance to the toe-off phase of the running cycle, you may realize that the heel rise is way earlier than expected. Now, what could this mean? There can be many reasons. One common reason is a mobility concern, whether that is coming from limitations of the joint, muscle, or other soft tissue. Another can be to shield from pain or irritability as you run. Going into an early heel rise, intentional or not, may help decrease stress placed on an irritated knee to improve tolerance to running. Now, those could be possible reasons. However, I will say that it is important to understand the context of the runner. Take into account the purpose and pace of the run. This is because the so-called early heel rise may actually be appropriate based on the situation. For example, if the runner is going at a high intensity pace, such as sprinting, the heel may rise much earlier than if one was going at a slower pace. The last thing I will go over is a common question I get during this specific part of the running phase, which is, does the knee have to fully straighten as the foot leaves the ground? Now, as the foot leaves the ground, a common thought is to straighten out the knee completely. However, this does not really have to happen. While the knee does straighten as you transition into this phase, it does not have to be completely straight. Based on some standard measurements looking at running, the knee is flexed or bent around 10 to 15 degrees during the toe-off phase. This may vary based on speed and the individual. Now, having a completely straight knee may slow down the transition through the running cycle, as the knee will need to bend to swing forward faster and more efficiently. Slowing down this process will decrease how fast you take steps and will ultimately limit your speed. And those are a few things to look out for during the toe-off phase. I hope you guys are enjoying these videos. I'd love to hear your feedback and any questions you may have. Now, next time, I will be posting on things I look for during the swing phase, so stay tuned. And as always, thank you for watching.